Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Gen Politics. So the McDonald's CEO gave an interview recently where he was talking about why they need to implement these new deals to get people back into the restaurants because nobody is eating there, especially from the middle and lower classes. And in this interview, he explains the dual economy, which is that the upper class is doing well, the middle and lower class are not. So let's play that clip real quick and then talk about it.
And part of what we also saw was that particularly with middle and lower income consumers, they're feeling under a lot of pressure right now. I think there's a lot of commentary about what's the state of the economy, how's it doing, and what we see is it's really kind of a two-tier economy. If you're upper income, earning over $100,000, things are good. The stock markets are near all-time highs. You're feeling quite confident about things. You're seeing international travel, all those barometers of upper income consumers are doing quite well. What we see with middle and lower income consumers is actually a different story. It's that consumers under a lot of pressure in our industry. Traffic for lower income consumers is down double digits. And it's because people are either choosing to skip a meal. So we're seeing breakfast. People are actually skipping breakfast, or they're choosing to just eat at home. And so for our business, which has a significant group of consumers which are in that middle and lower income, we needed to step in with something like what we're doing here.
So he's absolutely right. There is a dual economy. If you are in the game, if you are over the age of 50, if you have a house, if you have stocks, everything's great. It looks great, right? The stock market's up, the GDP is up. Those indicators, they make it seem like everything's going well. And it is if you already have assets. If you are a boomer and your housing price is going up and you're going to be able to offload your house for more money than you bought it by, magnitudes of degree, and then move to some retirement home, that's great for you. But for anybody not in the game, anybody under 30 who, went to college, has been living in an apartment, if they want to buy stocks, if they want to buy a house, if they want to buy a car, everything's way more expensive. It's like the barrier to entry gets bigger and bigger every year. And then even the small necessities, like food prices have gone up, and then the small luxuries like fast food, where it's not the best for you and you probably shouldn't be eating it all the time, but it's still like, it's a little thing. Even that has gone up to a degree where people are like, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't go to McDonald's. McDonald's is too expensive for me. And so the CEO, articulated this very, very well. And I think a lot of people are shocked by this, but anybody who is, like I said, under the age of 30 is just living that reality. This is why I've advocated for a long time that metrics like GDP are not a good indicator of the health of a country, because it is a catch-all. It is essentially kind of like an averaging. It says, oh, well, on average, everybody's doing great. It's like, well, no, not really, because you look at the specifics by each economic demographic, and that the story is not the same across the board. It's not, oh, we're all being uplifted together. It's some people are doing exceptionally well. They're getting even richer. Remember, like during COVID, when everybody was suffering, except for the companies were making billions more than they had in the past. And it's like, everything's great. The economy's great. It's like, no, that's not how that works. A couple people are doing really well and everybody else is suffering. And so the fact that they're acknowledging this is good. Like the CEO is like acknowledging this and trying to get people back in. It's going to be hard because there's only so much he can do with the prices that he's given. The food prices that the ingredients are going up. The cost of staff is going up. The ability to actually ship ingredients is going up. Things under Trump have come down a little bit because, energy prices have come down. That brings everything down. But all in all, there's been a lot of damage done to the economy over the last couple years, specifically over the last decade for a long time. But the last couple years under Biden made the problem just so much worse. And so I think a lot of boomers, when they don't really understand the young generation, when they're saying like life is really, really hard right now because we're living in this dual economy. And they're like, but everything's great for me. It's like, yeah, for you, because you already have stuff. And the stuff you have, when the price goes up, it's great. But it means that I can't buy that stuff. I can't even start to conceive of buying that stuff. That's the real difference. And so there is some attempt at policy to make things like this better. Trump has talked about doing certain things to address the housing crisis, making it so there's kind of a more national regulations for housing. So local ordinances can't just totally prevent people from building houses because they want to build houses. They got to bring the price of lumber down. They've got to, do what they can to encourage people to build more houses. But the main problem is our native population has been going down. So how is it that houses are more scarce? And it's like, okay, well, one, we have the massive illegal problem. We got to get rid of all of them. Two, we have a massive legal immigrant problem. We just need to stop legal immigration, basically, bring it down to like 10,000 a year. That would do wonders. And three, you need to stop these companies like BlackRock, Blackstone from buying up all the houses and then renting them out. You just say a company can't own more than $10 million of single family homes, duplexes, whatever to rent out. You can't do that. There would be some limit that allows, people to rent out a couple houses that they own, the average person. That's fine. You want to encourage something like that, but you don't want to have them buying millions of houses throughout the United States and then renting them out and then raising the prices with the scarcity that comes from that and then making people forever renters. Like, one thing to get people to actually love your country and be loyal to it is to have their needs met. And if you can't afford a home, you're not really thinking long term. I think it was Michael Knowles I heard say this. He was talking about things change once you have a lawn, because now you're not thinking about, okay, where am I going to move next year? What city do I want to move to? I'm in an apartment. I got to, the lease is up next year. Where do I want to go? You're thinking like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. What do I want to, when do I get a new roof for my house that I'm going to be in for the next 20 years? You're thinking long term. You start thinking about having a family. People don't really want to have families in apartments. It's hard. And so if you want people to be loyal to your country, to have some semblance of patriotism, you got to give them something that roots them in a national identity where they actually feel like they've got stake in the game. And most people don't feel like they have stake in the game. They actually kind of hate this place now. They're actually kind of starting to hate America because it's not serving their interests, right? Why should I be loyal to a country that isn't serving my interests, but still takes half my income? That's the argument that's coming. And so why do you think you've seen a lot of these national identity problems that are popping up where people kind of just hate America? They want to overhaul the system. We want something completely different. People even advocating for literal communism. It's like, because their life probably would be better under literal communism for a short period, a couple of years before everything collapses. But right now they say, this isn't working. You're pretending it's not real because you're saying GDP go up, so everything's fine, but it's not fine. And so that's where you're getting these ideas that in the short term would make everyone's life better in the lower class because you get more money taken from rich people and given to you, but in the long term destroys the economy, as we know. But a lot of people are willing to take that gamble, as it were, because the line of, oh, well, someday, if you're a millionaire, then you're going to really love these policies. It's like, okay, but I'll never get there because I can't even buy a house because they're getting more expensive year over year. I can't even start to enter the game. I can't even play the game. You've priced me out of even like starting. That's where this rage for the boomers is coming from young people, this kind of total ire for the government. And it may seem dumb. It may seem dumb that this all stems from a conversation about how expensive McDonald's is, but it's an indicator, right? The fact that you can't even enjoy like a little luxury, right? You can't even just go to get McDonald's once a week because it's too expensive. It's like, that's a bad sign for the economy when people can't afford McDonald's. They can't just go mindlessly think, okay, I'll just go get fast food tonight. They have to think about, do I really have the money? I got to budget for it. I have to budget for fast food now. That's a problem. That's a serious problem. Like that, America, allegedly the best country in the history of the world, the people should probably not have to think really hard about, can they go buy a Big Mac or not? That seems like you're already in a bad spot. Like, we should be abundant with wealth. We really should. We really should not have to think about things in that way. But the economy has gotten so bad for young people that they have to do that. And it's making them mad. It may sound stupid, but it's little luxuries like that keeps them from revolting, I guess, because you have to have reasons that you see your life as being good, even like the little things. And as soon as the little things go away, it's just like, we don't have the big things anyways. We're not even close to getting the big things. We can't get a house, a car, a family. But the small things, you know, that's what's keeping you afloat day by day. And when those go, people just totally freak out. And I think we're starting to see that more and more as time goes on. And the more that the boomers in power, who've been in power forever and refuse to give it up, refuse to deal with these issues, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And people are just going to get more angry and more radical because they're going to demand radical change because the small tweaks you're promising are not doing anything. That's why I said, like, you need radical change to fix the housing crisis. Like, ban all legal immigrants, essentially. That's pretty radical. You know, totally stop the asset buying and renting business that these massive conglomerates are doing. You know, yeah, that may hurt their bottom line, but it's like, you can't have people being forever renters. It just doesn't work. That's the whole sector of the economy that's become a huge thing is, you know, buying and renting houses. And yeah, houses are kind of an asset, but they really shouldn't be. They really shouldn't look like an asset because people need to live there. You know, they actually need them. And so when you kind of just make it an end goal to make them as expensive as possible, it doesn't really benefit the average American. And so there's these types of systems that we have to look at and do some radical change, because if we don't, things are just going to get worse and worse. And so I'm glad the CEO is at least acknowledging this. They're at least like trying. You can see businesses are like trying, but fundamentally this is going to be a government issue. Like, the government is going to have to step in with conglomerates that are not cooperating, that are making Americans' lives worse, that are trying to squeeze every penny out of them. And they're going to have to do something about that because this cannot go on for much longer. So that's my thoughts on this. If you made it all the way through the video, I appreciate it. If you like the content, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And thank you for watching.